Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us today. I'm delighted to be here with Teresa Slack, CEO and co-founder of Financely, the e-commerce bookkeeping specialists. Teresa also runs an e-commerce academy for accountants and bookkeepers who are looking to grow their skills and niche into e-commerce. Her academy offers an amazing community with expert advice, and you'll find the link in the description below if you'd like to join. We also have a promo code you can use, NEW20. Teresa, thank you for being here today, and can you tell us more about the Academy?
Thank you so much for inviting me here to talk about payment gateways. I'm really appreciative of A2X and Elspeth. Thank you for doing this with me today. So yeah, the e-commerce training academy came into fruition about 3 years ago, and my business partner and I recognized that we needed a place where e-commerce accounting professionals could come and learn how to manage it. E-commerce is complex, so every month we do live training where our members can come online with us, ask questions. We have structured training. They get resources, workbooks, downloads, all kinds of stuff, and access to a portal where they can watch the recordings if they can't come live. We also have a round table we run every month and a closed community where we can chat and support each other along this wonderful journey of e-commerce accounting.
Thank you, Teresa. It's a super helpful community, so definitely go check it out after this video. So moving on to the content, in this video we're going to provide a step-by-step guide for reconciling Amazon Pay in QuickBooks Online. I'm going to hand over to Teresa and she is going to give us a walkthrough.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, let's talk Amazon Pay. Now, I want to make sure there's no confusion. Amazon Pay is a payment processor that you can attach to any e-commerce platform, like attach it to Shopify, similar to like a Stripe or any of the other processors that you might attach. We don't want to confuse it with Amazon payments, which is when someone is selling on Amazon and they are receiving payouts. So Amazon Pay is a credit card processor. And what's kind of cool about it is you can even attach Amazon Pay to your Alexa for voice purchases. Pretty cool. When you first log into your client's Amazon Pay account, it should look similar to this. Along the side, you're going to see orders, and this is where you can view all the individual orders that have happened and been paid through Amazon Pay. There's an integrations one, but I wanted to note that is not integrations for things like bookkeeping software. This is for integrations with things like Alexa. When we saw that, we got excited. So no, it's not for bookkeeping. And then the other tab that we generally spend most of our time is reports. And this is where you will see the payouts from Amazon Pay to the business. So to get there, you want to click on reports on that home screen. Then you would click payments, and then you would choose date range reports. Then you will click on where it says generate report, and a pop-up will let you select the time period that you want to look at. The document's going to export as a CSV file. And with this one, we have seen that the payouts seem to be happening with each individual order. You're going to want to download that transaction data of all the processed payments, and you can filter for the period. The good thing with this report is it also shows you not only the payouts, but the orders. So let me show you what that report looks like. So when you download it, this is the report you get. And this is going to give you everything that you need as an accounting professional to reconcile the Amazon Pay clearing account that will be set up in your client's books. We can see that there's different types of transactions. You'll see captures and transfers. Captures are the orders and transfers are the payouts. Pros and cons of using Amazon Pay. In my opinion, Amazon Pay has good reporting, which allows us to properly record the entries and allows for really good reconciliation. For the clients, it's certainly easy to integrate Amazon Pay into their e-commerce platform. I find that the fees are very similar to other payment gateways, not similar to installment gateways like Sezzle or Klarna, but more in line with processing fees from Square or Stripe. And I have found that it handles multi-currency sales without any issues. On the con side, The fees aren't integrated into the sales entries that are going to be created into QuickBooks. So we need to record those fees manually to be able to reconcile it. And there's no sales tax information on Amazon Pay. You're going to need to get that from the e-commerce platform. And Amazon Pay does not connect into QuickBooks Online, so you do need to use an integration app like A2X, or you're going to need to do the work manually. When we talk about the challenges and connections for Amazon Pay, the one challenge is sales tax. Amazon Pay is not tracking anything to do with sales tax, which is actually fine. What we want to do is we want to get our sales tax information from the e-commerce platform, not from the payment processor. And I have seen at times business owners using the payouts from, for example, Amazon Pay to record their sales entries. The problem with that is you don't have all the correct information and you won't have any sales tax information. So instead, you want to gather that sales fees, discounts, sales tax information directly from the e-commerce platform, such as, Shopify. And when it comes to the payment side, that's the piece we use Amazon Pay for. And the nice thing is with A2X, it's going to create summary journal entries that will have the full amount of the sales, the discounts, the fees, the taxes, all built into it. Okay? And connections, Amazon Pay does not connect into QuickBooks, so we're definitely wanting to use an integration app or having to do the work manually. So let's look at how do we go about reconciling if our client is using Amazon Pay as a payment processor. Amazon Pay makes individual order payments to your client's bank account. So for every order that is paid through Amazon Pay, you should see a corresponding deposit in your client's bank account. Now, Amazon Pay is a true payment gateway, and it always pays out the balance in the account to your client's bank account. For A2X, it's doing lump sum journal entries, and it is summarizing those journal entries either daily, weekly, or monthly. And you get to choose how often you want it summarized. Do you want one journal entry for each day for sales that were paid through Amazon Pay? Do you want a weekly entry or a monthly entry? And because Amazon Pay is paying out to your client's bank account for each individual order, and A2X is summarizing them, in this case, we need to use an Amazon Pay clearing account. And A2X will drop all the sales into the Amazon Pay clearing account. Then we recommend you set up a bank rule in the QBO bank feed to automatically record transfers from the Amazon Pay clearing account into the bank account to match each of the deposits that have been received. You would then need to record your Amazon Pay processing fees, and you would record that as an expense entry paid from the clearing account. Between those two, the transfers to the bank and the expense entry, that should clear out the balance that is sitting in your Amazon Pay clearing account and make sure that you're ready to reconcile. So to reconcile it, you want to log into your client's Amazon Pay account. You want to go to Reports, then Payments, then your date range reports. Choose the time frame you want to look at, for example, 1 month. Amazon Pay will take a moment to generate the report, and you can download it as a CSV. Once the report is generated, you'll need to use the following columns to complete your reconciliation. As I'm showing here on the screen, the total transaction fees, the net transaction amount, which is the payout amount, the transaction amount, and the transaction type. Now that you've got that report, you are ready to start reconciling your Amazon Pay clearing account. For A2X, we only need the summary information. When you're using this method, you're not reconciling to each individual order. The total fees should be entered as an expense into the merchant fees expense account and indicate that that expense was paid by the Amazon Pay clearing account. Use the total showing under the total transaction fee column from the Amazon Pay report. And to validate the total sales on the report from Amazon, you want to add a filter to the column that's called transaction type, and you want to sort it by capture. So when you have that CSV, sort by capture. This is going to be the total sales, and the sum of that column should match up to the total deposits that you have now checked off on your QBO reconciliation screen. If you've done that, you can feel confident, okay, I am matching up. I have all my deposits checked off, and it is matching up to my Amazon Pay report, which is fabulous. Now, you may see some small differences due to currency conversions. If they have multi-currency, there may be a difference in the exchange rate in Amazon Pay versus what was used in the bookkeeping software when that entry was recorded. And if you're finding that, you may need to do some small adjustments to exchange gain and loss to bring the account back to zero. Now, in the example above, you can see that we left one sales entry outstanding because it's going to pay out next month. So that A2X journal entry isn't cleared because the payout is coming next month. And once you have checked off all of your transfers, all of your A2X entries, and your expense entry, you should now have a 0 showing in the top corner. And as a bookkeeper, 0 is definitely our favorite number when it comes to reconciling. And if it doesn't reconcile, if you're having trouble, you can drill into the A2X journal entries to see the details of what exactly was included in there, which orders were in there, and you can compare that to the Amazon Pay report that you have downloaded to see where a discrepancy might be coming from. And with that, you should be able to reconcile your Amazon Pay clearing account and be ready to move on to reconciling your sales.
Thanks so much, Teresa. That's really helpful. I love that walkthrough. We're going to ask you a couple of questions now just to pick your brain while you're here about reconciling Amazon Pay. So the first question is, how often should you reconcile Amazon Pay, and what are some of the best practices to follow?
Sure. I always recommend that you reconcile your clearing accounts every single month, just like you would your bank accounts, the credit cards. All your clearing accounts should be reconciled, preferably to 0, at the end of every month. You don't want to leave this account for, say, an entire year and decide to try and reconcile it at year end. That could be a challenge because if there's any issues, you now have a lot of information to go through. Doing it every month allows you to quickly identify any potential issues and deal with them month over month, and know that the financial reporting you're providing your clients, they can trust and it is accurate. Okay.
That's so true. I think little and often is the way to go with the clearing accounts.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then we're going to ask you as well, following on from that, what are the most common issues that come up during these reconciliations, and what are your top tips for dealing with them?
Sure. I would say the number one thing that I see is confusion around uncleared items. So for example, like we're seeing on the screen, that 179.79 shouldn't be cleared. That is correct. It is accurate. But if you're not used to this, you might think there's a problem. Like, why isn't this clearing? What is the issue? And you just have to remember timing. That journal entry probably has sales from the last day of the month, and it's not going to pay out through Amazon Pay until the following month. So it makes sense that it would be left over. And you may, when you start a reconciliation, have a couple of leftovers from the previous month. So I think sometimes people get confused over that and they think that everything should be clearing, but we always have to remember timing. And and then the other thing is definitely multi-currency, because you may have some exchange differences between how A2X converted, and used the exchange rate in QuickBooks Online versus what Amazon Pay has done. We have definitely seen that. So you've got a few cents left here, and knowing that I need to do an exchange gain and loss, or I need to adjust the exchange rate to match so that the sale has the exchange rate of the payment, like they're both matching, or you are doing those adjustments. I would say those are the most common issues I see.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to wrap up there. I just want to say thanks so much for your time today, Teresa. It's been super helpful. Just a reminder that if you'd like to sign up for the e-commerce academy and learn more about reconciling payment gateways and everything else you need to know about being an e-commerce bookkeeper, don't forget to check out the link in the description, and remember to use the promo code NEW20 to sign up. Thanks again for watching.